So I want to answer the question that most people ask when it comes to boxing and martial arts, and that's how to get faster hands, right? Everybody wants to have fast hands. It's like every beginner always asks that question. How do you get faster? People ask me, how did you get your hands so fast? And let me answer the question. So, first thing you got to understand is on this topic, there's a lot of conflicting information. There's a lot of opinions out there. Some people believe that it's mainly the strength and conditioning aspects of the training that get you there. Other people feel like it's just only technique. I'm here to tell you that the truth is a lot of it is technique, but it's not technique in the way you would think. It's not only knowing how to throw punches perfectly and just, practicing them over years and you just magically get faster. Not necessarily. The people that are fast are doing something that the people that aren't fast are not doing. And although fast twitch muscle fibers and genetics matters, it's only a small part. So let me explain to you how it's done. Now understand that when you want to be faster as a puncher, you are going to give up a little bit of power. However, you will proportionally probably be a lot quicker than the power that you are giving up. So a lot of times you hear people say, oh, well, those punches are fast, but they're not powerful. Trust me, they're only a little bit less powerful than they would be if you weren't using this method. And that method is learning how to stay extremely loose, right? And it's such an obvious thing. I know how, being loose makes you faster, but people don't really understand how to be loose. Now, the tool that you're gonna need in order to do this is hand dumbbells. And before you click away and say, oh, that's obvious, no, let me explain to you how you use them and what most people don't do. So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna hold the dumbbells with your open hands like this. So when you're in your stance, right, you're gonna have the dumbbells sitting in your palms. What you're gonna do is, you're gonna throw punches and you're gonna clench your hand in the last minute. And what that's gonna do is, that's going to teach you as a martial artist or a boxer how to throw a punch and clench in the last minute. Now, why is this so important? The reason this is so important is because when you throw punches, if there's a lot of tension in the arm, to go from tension to more tension will be a lot slower than to go from relaxation to clenching and tension. See? Now, another detail is, understand that when you throw a jab out, let's say, you're using your left hip to throw this jab, but your right hip has equal of a job. If I throw my right cross, my right hip is turning, but my left hip has equal of a job. So when I throw a jab cross, both hips are working 2 times. So what's going on is you're creating this ripping paper motion where each hip assists the next hip. And even when you throw the uppercuts and hooks, it's the same concept. One hip helps the other. So now this is where you have to sort of bring your mind into it, and it's going to take a lot of abstract thinking to imagine this. Imagine there's a ring around you, and when you throw punches, this full ring is turning like a giant cylinder around you. Imagine taking that mental cylinder and shrinking it. So instead of it moving like this, it's this small cylinder that moves like this. That's what you want to do with your punches. You don't want these big exaggerated movements. You want it to be small and tight. Now, like I was saying, you're going to lose a little bit of power, but your hips are going to operate at a quicker, like RPM, than they would if you were sort of imagining these hip turns to be large and exaggerated. So now the dumbbells come back into play, right? My palms are open and I'm clenching. I'm gonna have to stay loose this entire time, because if I was facing a mirror, let's say you guys are a mirror, I'm not gonna throw the dumbbell through the mirror, right? So I have to clench it. So what I'm doing is I'm practicing staying as loose as I possibly can while throwing these punches in a way that's forcing me to be loose. So when I put the dumbbells down, now I'm basically holding my hands with a small opening as if I was holding an egg, very relaxed inside of the boxing glove. And I'm doing the same thing, just clenching in the last minute. So now I'm wearing my boxing gloves, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recreate that same drill with the dumbbells inside of the boxing gloves. My hands are slightly open, and I clench. okay? And then you get on the bag, and what you do is when you hit the bag, it's gonna give you a feedback. That feedback is gonna make you wanna muscle it, but you can't do that. You gotta just find the sweet spot where your arm is about like 85 to 90% extension on the point of impact, and you stay loose, and you only clench in that last minute. All right, so let me do a quick demonstration on the heavy bag and show you first what it would look like to carry a lot of tension. Okay. Now I'm gonna loosen myself up, loosen my shoulders, my arms, my mind, and everything, and I'm gonna recreate the dumbbell drill, but on the heavy bag. So you see how it can be argued that the tension gives you a little bit more power, but when I remove the tension and go a lot faster, you can see the power is really not much different. And truthfully, it probably even gives you a better snap and a better whiplash, which arguably is even better for punching an actual human being. So try this stuff out. I hope you guys like it. That's my opinion for how to get faster.